You're listening to the Fuck Yeah Nation Network.
This episode of Robertland has been brought to you by Terry's video blog gets cut short again. Where everyone's favorite whiner / blogger, Terry, gets cut short again.
Hey guys, so I got food poisoning again, and this happens to me a lot because
Welcome to Robertland. That's right, your favorite not safe for work comedy theme park podcast. And I'm your host, Robert Thompson, comedian, musician, theme park technologist, all I do. What is up, everybody? How you guys doing? It is beautiful to have you, because this is a very special episode of Robertland. We're joined by none other than Alex Hooper. You may have seen him on America's Got Talent, Comedy Central's Roast Battle. He's got a friggin' book that he just came out with called Roast Yourself to Happiness. We have a ball with Alex Hooper. We talk all about life during the pandemic. We talk about being productive on drugs. And Tiger Woods being involved in Waterworld. Him mentioned Waterworld. I worded that shittily. I'm doing this fast. The sound quality may be a little different for this monologue too, because this is a predominantly video episode, and I'm doing this real quick because I can't find my recorder. Fun story, I know, but hopefully that shit pops up. Either way, if you're a little alarmed by this monologue audio because it's different from the crisp, usual, very leveled sound, it'll come back in the interview or just anything after this. This is recorded on my cell phone, so this is about as good as you're gonna get for now. So I'm going to hurry this up and not give you 4 minutes of explanation, but whatever. I love you guys. This episode, we talk about life. We talk about theme parks, so it's a perfect Robertland episode, and I'm glad you guys are here. Theme parks are starting to open in a lot of places. They've been open in some places almost the entire pandemic, but California, it looks like Disneyland may actually be opening sometime soon. And then Great America in San Jose or Santa Clara, San Jose, wherever that is, the former Paramount-owned Great America will be opening soon. And I definitely want to check it out, man. I hope I still got them cootie immunities for a while, and maybe I can go up there and ride a Top Gun roller coaster and have that feeling of a theme park again. But I hope that this show has provided that for you during all this in this crazy year. If you get tired of hearing about all the people dying and all the anger and everything else going on, maybe it's a good time to think about stuff that makes you happy, like churros and whatever else you may prefer. But I'm glad to have you guys here and to join Robertland while we have just some fun talking about theme parks, talking about life. And this episode is no exception. I thought I'd do something a little special and actually teach you something I've never done before, another language. I've never actually taught you guys other languages on the show, but I thought today would be a first, and I might as well. So if you want to learn the word roller coaster, which is very relevant to the theme of this show, roller coaster in Japanese is Jero Kasura, which is pretty cool. Jero Kasura. That's roller coaster in Japanese. In Dutch, it is Roetjebaan. That's a roller coaster in Dutch, Roetjebaan. Oh, I'm going to have a strudel and ride the Roetjebaan to put my balls in hot cocoa. If you're still there, guys, there's another language I'd like to teach you, and that is great old Espanol. But roller coaster in Spanish translates to Goma Mierda Binchihuero, which is what my friend told me. So it sounds a little bit long to be roller coaster, but yeah, if you ever want to, ask someone when you're in Mexico, be like, Goma Mierda, and see what happens, dude. You may be on the ride of your life. But, guys, I'm excited. Alex Hooper's on the program. You may have seen him on America's Got Talent. You may have seen him Comedy Central's Roast Battle. He's got his book out now, Roast Yourself to Happiness. We talk all about life, theme parks, drugs. It's a fun one. But before we get to me and Mr. Hooper, we've had a fella on the show numerous times, our buddy Sketchy Eddie. He is an entrepreneur and has gone through a lot lately, and actually put out this very revealing video about his bouts with being a vaccine addict. And I thought it was a very important video, and it moved me to tears, quite fucking frankly. So we're going to play that video right now in the program, because I thought it was truly touching. And it's Sketchy Eddie, our friend, close friend of the Robertland, talks about his bout with being addicted to vaccines. And then we'll get to your classic theme park minute with Zach Hillman, and then on to me and hanging with Mr. Hooper. So guys, sit back, relax, pretend you're eating a deep throat and a churro, at Splash Mountain or Legoland or wherever. You're in for Robertland. So enjoy this message from the Sketchy Eddie himself right now.
This is Theme Park Minute with Zach Hillman. The first UK amusement park to get bumper cars was Butland Skegness, which is also coincidentally my safe word in the sex dungeon. They began importing the technology with an exclusive license in 1928. But after nearly 90 years of complaints from guests sustaining injuries during the course of the ride, the park hung up a no bumping sign in 2011. The sign is seriously enforced, and guests found guilty of using the cars for their expressed purpose are told to stop immediately. Seriously? That's like putting up a sign at SeaWorld that says, "Please don't fuck the sexy dolphins with their glistening blowholes and slippery skin."
Bet you didn't know that, did you? Well, strap in, guys. Wear a strap on. Whatever. Here I am with Mr. Alex Hooper!
What's going on? My name's Eddie Buckler, aka Sketchy Eddie. I'm the founder of Vaccines Anonymous. I'm addicted to getting vaccinated. I couldn't believe it at first. I've never really been interested in drugs that help you. It all kind of started because I used to get paid to do these clinical trials. You'd make a couple $100 to be a guinea pig for these different drugs they were trying out. I got paid to take all sorts of vaccines. Treatments for schizophrenia, eczema, birth control, bring it on. It was a good little hustle for a while, and the camaraderie was amazing. I kind of met this whole crew of guys that were all in the same position. There was my homie Dale, who owed a bunch of money for child support. This kind of quiet guy, Side Puck, who was always there. A lot of times you got put in the placebo group, and so you just get a little sugar pill. We were always stoked about that, It's like we're getting money to take sugar pills. We kind of had this whole crew going. We called ourselves the Placebros. At first, I didn't really experience that many side effects, but as I did more and more trials, it became a little more apparent to those around me. Yeah, my roommates at the time started calling me Red Stripe because I was always in blood, and I really enjoyed the Jamaican lager of that name. They're just getting these weirder vaccines at these clinical trials, and I started getting more and more side effects. It used to be I wanted to get the placebo pill, but then I kind of wanted to get the side effects. That's when I knew I had to scale it back. It's kind of triggering with this whole COVID vaccine rollout. Back in the day, I would have been trying to travel all over the world to be a part of the clinical trials. I've heard of quite a few vaccine bros who've even tried to go out to Russia to get that Sputnik vaccine. I'm glad I'm out of the game now, but I do still experience some side effects from all the experimental vaccines. To this day, I can't see the color purple. When I smoke indica, it feels like a sativa, and vice versa. One day I woke up and I just had a third testicle. Out of nowhere, I just really enjoyed listening to Hillary Clinton's podcast, and every now and then I get an intense craving to trade in my MacBook for a PC. I'm glad I'm over my vaccine phase, though. You know, back in the day, I would have been trying to steal my Nana's identity to get the vax myself. She hasn't even got it yet. She's like 1,000,000 years old. It's gonna be tough when it's my turn to get the COVID vax, because I know they give you 2 shots. I know right after I get the first shot, I'm gonna be jonesing for the second. I wish they could double dose you. Coming from my experience, it just blows my mind that there'd be people that would turn down a vaccination, but to each their bone. It's been great raising awareness and finding out there's other people out there like me. You know, I still miss my glory days in the weird clinical trial office buildings, but I'm starting to realize that life hands you placebos when you least expect it.
Boy, it's great to be here in Ryan's house again. We're joined by a very special guest, Mr. Alex Hooper. How you doing, Alex?
Lovely. Thanks for having me.
Dude, it's a pleasure to see you, man. Virtually, it feels it's always like a very joyous time when I get to see you. You know, I appreciate you like coming out and being just such a positive dude, but you are literally one of the best roasters. Like I mean, it's an amazing like dichotomy that you have. Like you're a very nice guy, but you could tear someone apart, you know, and I love that. Yeah.
I mean, I think the best roasters are very loving, because if you're an asshole, then you're just an asshole, and nobody wants to be roasted by a dick. So, but if you have this silliness and like fun about you, then I think you get away with a lot more.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess it wouldn't work if you're just some hateful, like you could feel when it's like a guttural hate, you know, from someone that just doesn't fly, you know?
Well, that's why I wear like really like crazy outfits and stuff like that when I do it, just to like show you like this is meant to be fun. There's no maliciousness here, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you know, I remember hearing somewhere that you had a book, you're writing a book, and then all of a sudden I see you, it's out. And it's so awesome. So the name of your book is Roast Yourself to Happiness, right?
Correct. Yeah, we didn't tell. And yeah, I didn't tell anybody I was writing a book. I just did it in a couple of months, and then I released it to the world, and now you can go buy it. So just like that, turns out you don't actually have to tell people about the projects that you're working on. You can just do them, finish them, release them, and then people go, oh, when did you do that? And be like, when none of you were paying attention. That's when.
I mean, I think that this time, did you write it during the course of the pandemic?
I started writing it on December 1st. So it's been like, if you buy the copyright of the book is 2021.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was less than 2 months from idea to now you can buy it.
That's amazing. I've been an Adderall guy and I'm kicking it, but was there any Adderall involved? That sounds like
no, I don't do drugs that come from pharmaceutical companies or doctors or anything like that. All my drugs are made the old-fashioned way by an old hippie wearing dirty overalls, swirling chemicals in a bathtub with a broom. Like that's the only drugs I'll do. But no, I just, it was really like, it's a workbook, so it's not like a novel. Overall, it was probably about 50 pages typed, like 22,000 words. So I was basically just trying to do about 1,000 words a day. And if I did that, it's a 28-day workbook, like program. So if I just tried to get done 1 to 2 days every single time I sat down to write, then I felt accomplished. And I just would, so every day spend 1 to 2 hours trying to, 1 to 3 hours cranking out as much as I could, edit the next day, and then do the next couple days.
That's awesome though, man. Where can people find the book? Where can they get that book?
Amazon. I mean, the easiest way to do it, if you want to make it easy for yourself, hoopercomedy.com. You will find it immediately on my webpage. And then if you want to buy the book from there, you can get it. The Kindle's only $5. The paperback's only 18. You can write all over it. There's places for you to do that. There's journaling exercises, meditations, random quizzes. Like, this is like, it's supposed to be an experience. You're supposed to I'm offering tips on how to live a better life by embracing your flaws. And essentially, I'm teaching you how to roast everything that you hate about yourself until you just don't care anymore and are forced to love yourself.
That's beautiful, man.
That's a great concept.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if you knew I was here, but hey, I'm right.
But yeah, this is mine.
I could hear a voice of God coming in from this omnipresence that was just suddenly there.
But that's an amazing concept because I mean, I always said that like you can never be really bullied or shamed if you have no shame, right? Like,
yep, 100%. That's what I think a lot of us, like, we look in the mirror and we go, God, I hate this. I don't like my nose. I don't like that mark on my face. What's this bump that appeared on my arm the other day? And you start to freak out and you don't actually live truthfully or become the ultimate version of yourself because you're too busy nitpicking the dumbest little things that don't actually matter. And that's why, like, you'll hear this into the dating world all the time. People are like, it doesn't matter. You'll see some ugly fucking asshole that is just cleaning up all the time every time you see him with a new person, and it's because he just has full confidence and doesn't think about, well, what do I look like today? Is my skin a little dry? Is my hair messed up? No, he just goes out there and just does his thing, and you look at that person and go, what, why don't they hate themselves more? What are they doing?
Right.
And
that's hilarious.
I spent years hating myself. I used to hate the way I looked. And all it did was attract negative energy and bring me down to a depression that I didn't know how to climb out of. And then one day I stopped caring. And mainly it was because of roast battle and getting made fun of constantly, week in, week out, hearing the worst things about myself, that I was like, oh, as long as they're funny, I don't care how brutal these jokes are. Now I'm enjoying this, and now I invite people to roast me all they want.
That's great, man. The best part though about the book is the fact that you can scribble somewhere. For me, but it's funny that you talked to you'd mentioned how you don't do the pharmaceutical factory robot drugs that make you a drone, and this is like a very real thing for me that I don't really talk about too much, but. Like I have had a prescription to Adderall for like 7 years, and I had a minute where I had this breakthrough where I stopped doing it just last week because I was out of pills, right? And and it was, and
you're like, I had this breakthrough. Mainly it's because I ran out of my supply.
Mainly out of necessity.
To reckon with myself.
Yeah. Well, so like I after years of doing that, like basically legal, methamphetamine, like I should be hanging out in front of a 7-Eleven right now. But thankfully, I feel like I had to feel something. I couldn't just go cold turkey. And so I finally did THC for the first time in my 34 years of life. I never done. Yeah. And so it was CBD THC gummies. And I'd never been like more at peace in my life. And I've been around weed forever, being a creative, eccentric person. I never did it. I'm a weirdo. It was like my way of rebelling against all of my friends by not doing it.
I'm not good with THC either. I'm not a big fan.
You like the alcohol.
Well, yeah. I'm a big drinker, but like I'm not good with, I mean, I don't know if I told you last time I did this like THC oil, because like I had like CBD stuff that you like squirt into your mouth. It's supposed to help with your joints and shit.
Right.
And so I was having back pain, and all I had was like this THC oil that I got from a gig. And and so I was like, fuck it, maybe this will help. And I like squirted some of that shit into my mouth, and I fucking thought I was losing my mind. I ended up like My legs ended up they stopped working. I had to like army crawl to the bathroom, and I thought aliens were coming to get me. Like, I swear to God, I thought I was gonna fucking die that day.
Edibles are intense. Anytime you ingest weed, it's a far different high than when you smoke it. Different cannabinoids receptors are opened up when you eat it as opposed to when you smoke it. So it's just much more intense.
Yeah. So, but also I don't like smoking it either too much. I mean, like every now and then, like if I'm just sitting, see, I get really unmotivated on weed. So like, if I'm sitting watching a movie or something, then yeah, like I'll hit somebody's fucking vape pen or something like that, and like I'll chill out, eat some edibles, and you know, whatever. But like but that means I have to stay home because it's game over if I smoke a joint or something like that. It's like I ain't going anywhere after that.
No, that was what I was afraid of with like weed and stuff, because there's like this misconception on my end that like the only thing you get from THC is like being tired or like lazy. And I worked taking CBD, THC, and I have like a manual labor job, and I had energy for the most part. Like I was way more like lubricated is the word I like to describe.
I'd imagine so. That makes sense.
And
I
it's
really
a
enjoy working out when I'm high. Like if I smoke weed and then I go for a run, I will go so much further because for some reason I just don't feel the pain, or I don't feel that thing that says stop, 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 because I'm too busy being stoned and just listening to music and just being happy that I'm outside. And so like I find that I can actually like push through like more workouts and things like that, and also just go deeper in meditations. Like you just have to use weed properly and then make it work for you, because I know plenty of people who can't smoke and they freak out, they get paranoid, and I get it. But if you find a way, like I think, you know, that's the way it is with most drugs. Like if you find a way to make Adderall really work as an advantage instead of a crutch, that's great. It's just when we lean on something too much for its own benefit that's when it starts to have negative effects.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and that's why I think you know, it was a breakthrough for me not to try CBD and THC, because it was like, oh wait, there is a way out of this, because I felt like I was kind of trapped, and that's kind of a sign of like, yeah, this is too much, you know, because I felt like it was a crutch, you know, and I was like compensating for something I didn't need to, because when I've been writing more than I have in literally 8 years, like in the last week, and so I'd felt more myself, because when you're on Adderall, it's kind of like this, like you get like froze, you know, it's like a robot brain, and it's good for, you know, being you know, doing just manual labor and being a robot, but not like I
think THC definitely just like it kind of kicks your neurons a little bit more, so you're more you're more receptive to like ideas and shit, you know, but yeah,
there's an advantage, I think, to all of it. You know, I think you could probably work you know, I mean, maybe not heroin, but I think like for the most part, you know, but
you never know.
But I had
I would say PCP is the one that probably doesn't have a lot of medical benefits to it. If you're naked and fighting a cop, my guess is it's not really doing anything for you mentally that could be viewed as an advantage.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. It's been a beautiful thing though, and it really put me at peace, and it's been nice. And I wish I had gotten kind of into that like at the beginning of the pandemic. That would have been beautiful. But you know, it was kind of eye opening. So I don't know why. I just wanted to share that with you, because I feel like you're you know, you're an experienced dude in that realm, you know.
I mean, I've done my share of drugs, and my thing is, like, I don't rail like against prescription drugs. Like, I know they help people a lot. It's just mainly the ones that people get so addicted to, and they're not actually a solution to anything. It's just an endless cycle for the doctors to make money, for the pharmaceutical company to make money.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, and part of me, like, I understand when people say they need their drugs, they need them, right? My little sister is one person. She says if it wasn't for drugs, she would be dead. And part of me like understands that, but there's another part of me who used to take prescription pills who just thinks like, okay, what about 75 years ago when these didn't exist. So if everyone is saying I need to be medicated, for the entire history of humanity, we were not medicated by prescription pills, yet people found a way to survive and to thrive and to live their lives. So when somebody says there's absolutely no way I could function without this medication, part of me just thinks that's, depending on the situation, obviously, but it's a limiting belief. And I think we can find ways to survive and still be happy without these things. It just takes more work. And I think that's what a lot of people are afraid of.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. And I'm excited for stand up to open back up, in California. I mean, are we all right? We're all waiting, but for me, it's just exciting because I haven't done a show like sober ever. I think once I got up without like being blasted, but I remember going up and doing the Chatterbox, a local favorite in the LA region. Covina, represent dog. Yeah, my parents are from there. They have good cheesy bread at Northwoods Inn.
Did I ever tell you that there was like it never really became a thing, but there was like a slight beef between the Silver Dollar and Chatterbox.
You and Steve are big dogs, and the
well, it came back
SGV.
It came back to me that somebody was saying I was encroaching on their SGV territory.
I mean, that's hilarious, though. But I remember I had some fun sets there, but I remember like there was a period where I was just like so blasted that I couldn't find myself. And one time I was just brutally honest with myself and the audience, and it got like the biggest response, but it was exactly what I said earlier, where I was like, I went up there, I'm like, well, guys, I just quit pills and it feels good. This is my first set without doing pills. And everyone like had this applause. It was, I didn't ask for it. They just applauded. This is nice.
People really applaud when you're sober.
But then I was like, yeah. But I was like, that's what I would say if I wasn't a piece of shit. It's completely high right now. To go like the biggest laugh ever. But like that too, just like those moments of kind of recognizing yourself and being honest. It's like it's exciting for me to sort of have those breakthroughs and stuff. Because
definitely.
Yeah. So I can't wait.
In the same way that sober people get that clap, if you go, I've been sober for 6 years and everybody claps, I basically make audiences applaud for me for being a successful drug user for 21 years.
I mean,
I'm like, hey, no one's giving me a chip, but I deserve one because I've never been late to work. I show up on time everywhere I go. I don't miss shows. I barely stumble over words, and I do drugs pretty much every day of my life. So if anything, come to my meeting and I will teach you how to do that.
Yeah, it was so funny because I was explaining when I started doing TikTok during the pandemic, like I took a month off of like booze and drugs, like in fucking I think April. I decided I was like I'm gonna do a sober month and just skateboard like every day. So I was doing that. Go to the skate park, trying to skate again. And the only TikTok that got the most fucking likes and views was this one I put 12 days sober at the skate park, and then everyone, got it, buddy, keep going. I'm like, no, you guys don't understand. I'm going right back to the bottle when I'm done with this 30 days, man. This is
that just says how people view you, though. They're like, finally, Ryan's getting help. Oh my God, it's so good that you figured it out on your own, Ryan. We're so
I know, dude. It was pretty fucking. I was like, does everyone really think I'm that much of a fucking like piece of shit degenerate? I don't know,
dude. That's honestly, but that's why I feel the need to like be so productive and always be out like doing things and completing projects. Is because if I wasn't, then people would be like, God, that guy's just like a lazy like
100%.
Whatever they want to say about me. But the fact is, I work way harder than I party. It just happens that I work so hard that when I party so hard, people are like, man, that guy really goes to town. And it's like, yeah, but you didn't see all the work that I just did. Like you see an end result, but you don't see. To me, it's binging and purging, right? The binge is me doing all the work, and the purge is going to a music festival for 4 days, filling myself up with powders and weird funguses and things like that, and just dancing till I fucking get it all out of me. And then I just start the process all over again. And that has worked for me very well for the past 10 years.
Yeah, I mean that's great. You got to
I
hold
totally
on.
get it. I'm with it.
Yeah, I mean, you wrote a book in a month, so I don't think you have to say anything else.
While having COVID, while smoking weed every single day, don't tell me your excuses. I can give you excuses. The point is, nobody wants to hear them. You know, anytime somebody says, "Oh, I can't do something because," I just want to be like, I don't want to hear the rest of it. Because you're giving yourself a reason, and I bet I could find a way out of it, but the problem is you don't want to find a way out of it. So I don't make excuses. I either do something or I don't, and if I don't do it, it's because I didn't do it. I don't say it's because of this. I just didn't do the thing, and I just think it's accountability.
Yeah, I think a lot of people really they do it because they don't want to be accountable for their own fucking behavior. You know. They like to blame everything else because they're like, well, I think I'm such a good person that like these are the things keeping me from doing it because I don't want to admit that it's like my fault, you know, that these are all my. It's so fucking. It's kind of gross. Like I can't stand being around people like that.
It's not even like I don't even consider it like I'd say gross is a strong word for it. I just feel like I just wish that like they would start taking their life into their own hands. And that's the biggest thing for me is just like, look, there's a million reasons why we shouldn't be doing the things that we're doing. And we could come up with them all day and just keep listing them. But in the end, like if you want to do something, it is completely in your power whether or not you're going to do it. So I just think like, you know, it's one of the reasons I wrote a book like this is because I've learned all these little tips and tools over the years of doing my podcast, reading self-help books, and just genuinely figuring out a way to have fun all the time and be happy. And so I just put all these things in there. And a big one is just you got to get over your own bullshit. You got to figure out what's holding you back and get rid of it so you can really push yourself forward to a place where you want to be.
Oh yeah, we can all be our own like Tony Robbins. You know, we've all got it in ourselves to have giant hands and teeth and make millions of dollars. But you know, it's funny because staying happy, I think, or finding like because you talk about having COVID, and I'm glad you're all right. I had COVID as well, and I remember the first day that I had it, I had fainted because I had so much anxiety. I had so much anxiety from having it because you know I live with my folks right now, so and I work in public, but I've been very careful to not let that happen. But you know, it's so fast the way it spreads, and you know, my aunt had gotten it, and then it was just like wildfire, and all of a sudden everyone had it, and so the anxiety and just feeling sick, like oh shit, I'm this elusive coronavirus I've heard about for 10 months, and I have it, and so I fainted, and then I remember quickly realizing after that like finding my inner Zen is just the way I'm going to get through this. Because you hear all these people talking about how, how you can turn into a dog. No, I forgot.
Are you going to kill that dog or me?
Sounds like a cute dog, though.
It's my pug. It's one of my pugs.
Oh yeah.
He pretty much is used to me doing podcasts and Zoom shows and things like that all day, but sometimes something happens and he just gets annoyed that he's not invited to the party.
Yeah.
I mean, you can bring them on if you want. I love pugs. Like I love them because they remind me of Bernie Mac and they're adorable. It's funny that you said that though. I think staying happy during all this, like finding your kind of zen, like there's still stuff you can do because all these podcasts, all the stuff we hear about is like the lockdown, the shutdown, all of the like just negative shit. It's like, dude, like, you know, think about 1,000 years ago, we had so much less and people were happy and living. And like, it's amazing that we have like Netflix. It's amazing that we have all this shit that, you know, even like, 100 years ago, you didn't have you have to.
Dude, this is the greatest time to ever be alive.
I know.
That is indisputable. Like that is, we have better food, we have better health care, we have more access to information. This is by far and away the greatest time in the history of time to be alive. And if you don't recognize that and you're still finding things to complain about and all that, like you gotta find a way to flip the script a little bit. fuck?
well, I think like the fact that we don't have to look for porno passwords anymore is a good thing.
We're not in the woods looking for like weird, shallow graves of porn.
Yeah, dude, isn't that so funny? Like everyone, I mean, I know there's plenty of bits about this, right? But like, I was talking to my friend about this. Like, no one in this new generation is gonna have to like go through like finding porn in a gutter.
Yeah,
it
was a task,
or in a dumpster or something. It was always somewhere in the woods or something like that.
When people say porn is dangerous for kids, it's like I used to climb 40 feet to a tree so I could look at a hustler that I stole from someone else's dad had their cum stains in the pictures. Don't talk to me about kids looking at things on the like. Are you kidding? They might be getting some bad practices, and they might be figuring out all the wrong ways you're supposed to have sex with somebody. But I mean, still, it's still safer in the end.
Yeah. I've been saying, well, yeah, I guess in the safety of your own home, but I've been saying, but yeah, like it can be dangerous. Like, you know, the first time you're introduced is like double fisting anal or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a starter pack. It's kind of like,
that's what my grandmother taught me when I was early. She said, Alex, when you go on a date with a woman, they're going to want two things. Flour and double fistal anal. And that's all you have to do to get a ring on that finger.
If you like it, got a double fisted, put a ring on it. I'm a big fan of the Destiny's Child. So, you know, and fisting and anal and all that. No, but you know, finding happiness is really important, I think, right now. And I just heard that actually, you know, speaking of the theme of the show, theme parks, we're gonna shovel this shit in here.
Oh yeah, that's what this podcast is.
Well, it's about life and theme parks.
Well,
so
I completely I forgot to change the logo too, so I completely hijacked your fucking video stream with my podcast logo.
I wasn't sure. I thought I might be doing a different podcast or something. I wasn't sure if I was still doing Robertland.
You know,
it's all my equipment, so like all my shit is still like it's all fucking pre put on the fucking thing. So.
Yeah, it's all right. It's punk rock, dude. Whatever. Yeah. It's all state of mind. You know what I'm saying? No, the Robertland.
So this is Robertland brought.
It is Robertland.
Robertland brought to you by Hit the Mics.
Yeah, there we go. Of the Angels of LA. Now, so the Great America is opening in Northern California. That's like a Six Flags type theme park. And for a while, they were owned by Sony, Paramount owned it. Paramount, Great America, and they had like a chain of those. It's weird because they have rides that like I never thought would have a movie based ride. Like they have Face Off's the ride. They have Yeah.
It's when I was standing in line for Schindler's List, the ride, I was just like, I didn't realize this part of the water park experience anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
What do I do? Just turn on the shower? Great. Okay. Let's see what happens.
Well, you worked at Universal Studios for
11 years.
Oh my gosh.
And we talked about that before on the pod, but I didn't get a chance to talk too much about some of the older attractions, because when you moved out here, that was about 11 years ago, right? 11, 12 years ago.
I moved out here I moved out here at the very end of 2008.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So did you start working there shortly after that? Was that pretty soon after that?
I moved here on October 22nd, and I got that job in the first week of December.
Oh, dang. Okay. Yeah.
And I held it all the way until March 14th of 2020.
Oh man, that's crazy. You know, the thing that I really loved about Universal Studios was like sort of like the old stuff that was hokey that like somehow stood around for forever. Like, I don't know if Backdraft was still there.
No, Backdraft got taken out about 7 years ago, maybe. It was still there when I got there, though.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So like I loved that because it was so mind blowing when I was a kid. It felt like, I remember being scared. I remember thinking like, "Oh shit, we're gonna burn to death."
Yeah, those fireballs are for real.
Yeah, my dad is gonna look like my penis after those porno websites, you know. No, I remember one time, going in there and like legitimately thinking like every time I went in there, it felt like there was something that could go wrong. And I love that element about it. I kind of like it when shit's a little creaky, and that danger element makes it a little bit more exciting to me.
Kind of true, yeah.
You know?
Same reason why you carnival rides.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because carnival rides, you're not going on them for the smooth ride.
No,
You're
going on their
zipper.
Yeah, dude, the zipper.
Oh my gosh.
And you're staring at that one loose. I'm sorry, you're
staring. Allowed to do that. We should never been allowed to go on that ride.
No, and you're staring at that one loose bolt, like you're like, it's all gonna be over in fucking seconds.
Yeah.
You're like, God.
Yeah, that's the beauty of theme parks, I think, is the fact that like there's those elements of just danger that make it fun. Some of those older attractions always kind of felt dangerous because I'm like, should this still be here? Should this be standing? But Waterworld somehow, it was a bomb when it came out 26 years ago, but it's still a major attraction at Universal Studios, and I love it. It's great. You can see the latest, CSI cast member or whomever, but like,
cast member is a little bit of a push. They were an extra one time.
Okay. That's like when I met the Green Ranger's brother. I stood in line for 2 fucking hours as a kid to meet the Green Ranger's brother in West Covina in Chicken Spade. And let me tell you, that guy's penis was probably pretty like ladies were all over him because he looked kind of like Jason from the Power Rangers. But it's just hilarious. I love the fact that Waterworld is like still there. I heard there was plans to kind of morph that into more of the Harry Potter world, but it's all kind of hearsay stuff. But
yeah, I mean, as far as I know, they never gonna take that thing down. I mean,
I hope they don't. I hope they don't. I want a Dennis Hopper impersonator to always have a job. Like
yes,
yeah.
I remember I used to our break room is right behind Waterworld for the front gate where I worked, and so I used to have to listen to Waterworld all the time. And I remember very specifically, there's an opening line where the deacon comes out and he hits a golf ball and he goes, "Hi, I'm Tiger Woods," and everybody goes, "Eh." When Tiger Woods got in his accident and got caught philandering, they stopped saying that line for like 6 months or something like that. And then I don't know what the decision was to bring it back, but I remember a very clear day where I was like, "Oh, they're saying Tiger Woods again." And I bet it was like somebody at top was just like, "Listen, who hasn't cheated on their wife? Come on, guys."
That's amazing. I don't know. I love that stuff though. Before even my time, there was like an A-Team show and there was a Conan show that looked amazing. But there's something about Universal Studios that always is like I have a fond place in my heart, like growing up loving movies. The fact that you can kind of, you feel, especially as a kid, they could literally tell you that was the set of Jurassic Park, and I'd believe it, even though it's shot
for sure.
Hawaii.
And that's one thing that, working in a theme park, obviously, you lose all the magic. And I'm an adult. I'm 35 years old. I understand how things work. But when I would watch a kid go, "We're going on the Minions ride!" I was like, that's what it's for. Like, that's why this place exists. Because there are those people that cannot fucking believe they are about to enter a world where movies are actually made and you're going to be a part of this experience.
Yeah, I mean, and there's been plenty of movies that actually been shot there. Like, obviously, Phantom of the Opera 100 million years ago was shot there, and that was burnt down, right? I think the studio.
I don't know.
It was one of the old studios, but they said it was haunted, and I think that fire. Was the fire in 2008? Was that when you got? Was that before you got there?
Yeah, the fire was. It was in 2008. It was like 6 months before I got there, essentially.
Oh wow! So the smoke was like still settling on that. Did they lose movies in that? I don't even remember what exactly happened. Because I don't know what the fuck's back there. I don't know if that's
I don't think it actually affected much production or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
But
did they put that fire department before or after that fire, right? Because now they have.
I'm pretty sure it was there before. It's like, hey, we should probably buy earthquake insurance as your house is collapsing on itself. I'm pretty sure it was there. I think, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, there's such a huge place. I mean, the fact is, I mean, like, you know, 30,000 people are going to that theme park, and then you have all the employees, then you have all the productions happening in the back. You need some sort of fire department.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, all the major theme parks have like fire department, police. It's kind of crazy. There's
Yeah, they operate as like their own cities.
little cities, you know. But
Very much so.
yeah, definitely, man. And it's you know, when I first had you on the pod, it was very early on. The podcast wasn't even out yet when I had recorded it. And it's funny because I had like I was going hard. I had 20 episodes pre-pandemic like recorded, and it was kind of for a minute I felt weird, like, oh, I'm just putting out this thing about theme parks in the middle of the pandemic. But I kind of found some like joy in the fact that like when people would tell me, hey, this took me out of like what's going on right now, you know, it may be a nostalgic podcast, you know, in California, at least. Florida, they don't give a fuck. They've been open, you know,
Oh, I know.
the whole time. But
In true Florida fashion.
but something about that kind of makes me happy, because sometimes I felt like, am I being obnoxious putting out something that's like, but it kind of, it's nice to sort of take you away from all the craziness and
Well, dude,
and
that's my style of comedy. What I've always wanted to do is I don't talk about topical things, because all I want to do is be a break from whatever reality you're living with and dealing with. I want you to come to my show and forget about all of it and just enter this really silly magical play world for a little while, where you forget about all the bullshit that you have to deal with as soon as you walk out of that club again. And I think by breaking people out of their reality and not making them think about their problems, then that's the highest level I can do my job, is to completely let you forget about whatever's happening in your life and just enter another world for a little while.
I know, I love, that's my favorite kind of art, man. I love kind of just, you know, not to sound like a pretentious Pete here, but I just love that. I love the escapism, and you know, it's a beautiful thing, man. But you know, last time I'd had you on the pod, I did some faux roast battle jokes, because you know, you yourself are a professional roaster. You have a book now. You've been a, you know, multinational television. I don't know if that's what you call it. International television.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. So that sounds like it was from the T2 show at fucking Universal, where it was like,
Welcome to multinational television network. Please divert your eyes to the screen.
Yeah. I love that they just described, like, you know, the internet. Like,
Yeah.
one day you'll be able to watch something in Brazil.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, but
Play
yeah.
Mortal Kombat with the kid in Japan, like in fucking Cable Guy when he's
Oh yeah,
when he's
yeah.
giving that-
Right.
And people are doing that.
Learn the facts of life by watching the facts of life.
Yeah.
I love Cable Guy. Yeah, but I had a couple of roast jokes to run by you this time, because I feel like I've kind of brushed up on my roast material. This isn't a faux roast battle, but just a couple roast ideas I had.
Are these jokes about me?
No.
Oh, okay.
But you may appreciate these. Okay.
I'm sure I will.
I mean, I just want to get your critique as a professional here. Okay, so, hey, Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's 2021. When are you going to change your name to Arnold Schwarzenegger African American?
Approve.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, the next one. This is for celebrities. If I ever get to that point of getting face to face with some major celebrities like these two, hey, did anyone see that show on TLC? My 2,000-pound sisters. As a Star Wars fan, I'm disappointed that no one told me about Jabba the Hutt spin-off show. You fat slobs.
I mean, we might want to work for a better twist in that one.
Okay.
You know, kind of saw that one coming as soon as you said Star Wars. But I do like the bluntness of just saying "you fat slob" at the end of a joke. I appreciate you just stick it right to them.
I mean, yeah, I'm actually being. There's a deeper meaning there. I really mean save the whales. That's what I mean. No,
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, But it's always a ball having someone like yourself on the show, because I feel like you give out those fuck yeah vibes, is what we say around here. Our friend Evan Cassidy preaches.
Oh, I know Evan. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Fuck
Evan.
Nation.
Yeah, dude. So we I think you definitely are one with the Nation and those positive vibes, and I love that. But I wanted to show you something that I don't know if you guys have seen. We'll go to that clip of this is an amusement park in China that I saw that was pretty mind blowing. But it's called the I think it's the Flying Blowing Kisses. I don't
Okay.
I think that's actually the name. It's like something very
Whoa.
but it's pretty incredible. And we'll show you a clip of this.
Yeah, I'm so curious as to what it does.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So if anyone looks on YouTube, there's a video of it. But
oh no, I gotta change the fucking. Hold on. Uh-oh. Nope, it's plugged in. No, we're good. Hold on. Please hold. There we go.
So yeah, we're watching a video of these giant statues that someone made that are that rotate and kind of mock
Oh wow.
kiss while there's people on a platform and it's so high. It's like one of the highest. It's technically the tallest theme park in the world. But
That's so cool.
It's music then, right? I'm gonna mute
yeah,
that.
no, it's just music. But yeah, I was really blown away by this. I mean, I don't know how fun that is just to stand up there, but it's
That looks cool. That looks
Yeah.
I mean,
nuts.
I imagine it's like a Ferris wheel where it's not actually fun, and thrilling, but it's just gorgeous to be up there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that would. I don't know. That looks a little too high for me. I'd be fucking scared.
Yeah, well, I thought this was really beautiful and kind of something very tranquil and sort of peaceful. So if you guys look up flying kiss mushroom tip, I don't know, it's a Panda Express meal these days. No, but Alex, you're a mensch, man. I appreciate you coming back to Robertland, and it's always great to talk to you. And keep doing what you do, and I soon hopefully we'll all be kumbayaing together on Jurassic Park the Ride.
Yes.
So
Goddamn right, dude.
Jurassic
Yeah,
World
man.
now.
Jurassic World, that's
Yeah.
right.
Jurassic
Where
World, the
can
ride.
the folks find you, Mr. Alex Hooper Comedy?
HooperComedy.com, at Hooper Hairpuff on all social media. That's the easiest way to do it. Just go to my website and you can find channels to every single other thing that I do, including my podcast, my comedy special, my album, my book, and all that shit. So, yeah.
Well, and guys, you want to keep up, because if Alex can write a book in a month, I mean, man, you're gonna have the Godfather series coming up.
I mean, who knows? I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I'm going to figure something out. And whatever it is, it will be something ridiculous and silly and really fun.
And that's why we love you, man. Thank you for coming on the show, and thank you, Ryan, for co-hosting with me again.
Well, yeah, you're welcome. I got free advertisement on your on your podcast this time.
Hell yeah!
Great. Heck yeah!
So hit the mics with Ryan D available every Friday or Thursday live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch.
Heck yeah! All right, guys. Au revoir, everyone. Stay safe.
Bye, everybody.
Hey,
Yeah.
Alex, good to see you.
Bye.
See
Thank
ya.
you, Alex.
Dude,
Heck
thanks, guys.
yeah. Fun times.